This is New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Joe Torres and Sandra Buckman. Sam Ryan with sports. And Jeff Smith with the exclusive Accuweather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
Celebrating across the country, people gather to recognize Juneteenth. We'll show you how some people mark the holiday here in our area and around the United States. Travel chaos continues this holiday weekend. Hundreds of flights canceled, thousands more delayed. What led to the problems at the airports as more people hit the skies once again? Good evening, I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Sandra Bookman. We're going to begin with the Juneteenth celebrations. This is a look at what some of those celebrations look like nationwide. From Galveston, Texas, where the holiday originated, to Milwaukee, Philadelphia, where people hit the streets celebrating the end of slavery in the U.S.
Here in our area, there were a number of Juneteenth celebrations on the second year since it became a federal holiday. And many of those celebrating today say this recognition has been a long time coming. Eyewitness News reporter Shantae Lands has the details on the celebrations here in our area.
And our Juneteenth coverage continues online. Join me tonight as I take a look at the history of the holiday and the meaningful ways that you can commemorate it. Streaming on ABC-7 NY today at 6:30, right after this newscast. Other news tonight, a 6-year-old girl was critically injured when she was hit by a car in Brooklyn. Police say the driver of a Jeep Wrangler struck the child shortly before 3 this afternoon. The accident happened in Dyker Heights along 78th Street. That driver did remain at the scene. Police are still investigating. A taxi crash left 2 people injured on the Upper East Side. Citizen app video shows where a yellow cab slammed into scaffolding and a Chase Bank. This happened at 79th Street and 3rd Avenue. 2 people were taken to the hospital. Still unclear is what led to the crash.
A police investigation tonight into a triple shooting in a parking lot in Ozone Park, Queens. When police responded to a 911 call on Cross Bay Boulevard early this morning, they found a 38-year-old man shot in his torso. Medics rushed him to the hospital where doctors pronounced him dead. 2 other shooting victims got to the hospital on their own. One of them was shot in the face, the other in the leg. They are both in stable condition.
Turn now to the weather. Picture perfect outside, but we had a little bit of a chilly start early on. A bit unusual, huh, for June? Here's meteorologist. Yeah, it is. Needed a sweater this morning. Jeff Smith has a first look at the Accuweather forecast.
In fact, we were 2 degrees from a record low in Central Park that was last set back in 1920. Get down to 54 in the park. Got all the way down to 56 at LaGuardia. That actually tied your record low this morning. You had some 40s north and west. 47 at Sussex. Got all the way down to 43, if you can believe it, at Monticello. These numbers way below normal for this time of the year. Even at this hour, 73 is the warmest we've gotten to all day. Normally, this time of year, you'd be in the lower 80s for a high. You get 72 right now at Islip. You haven't recovered much out on the east end at Montauk, where you had some rainfall to start the day. Clouds very gradually parted ways there. 64 right now, your number there. And still, we have that wind out there. So even though it's bright, it's still breezy out there, making these numbers not feel quite as warm as they indicate on the thermometer. So here's our satellite radar. You still have this storm kind of spinning around over the Canadian Maritimes and eastern New England. Still close enough that we're getting that wind. At least we're not getting the rain and the clouds that they're getting over eastern parts of New England at this hour. But that's going to be moving off to the east. We won't be under the influence of that storm anymore overnight tonight into tomorrow, so the wind is going to relax. We're down to about 63 by midnight, eventually going down to 57 by early tomorrow morning. Look at tomorrow. Less wind, a recovery in these numbers, too, getting up to the 80-degree mark or so by tomorrow afternoon, and similar amounts of sunshine to what we had today. So it's going to feel great out there to start the work week. As we start summer officially on Tuesday, those chances of rain and even a couple of thunderstorms go up. We'll talk about that in your Accuweather 7-day forecast coming up, guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you. The NYPD released new details about a terrifying attack in Queens on a woman walking down the street. Police say a man attacked the woman, dragged her into a park, and then sexually abused her. Investigators released this video. You can see a man running down the street there. That attack happened yesterday morning at the corner of 118th Street and North Conduit Avenue in Wakefield. Medics took the woman to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center.
The NYPD also searching for 4 men who drove up in stolen cars to people walking on the street, get out of the vehicle, and then rob them. 2 of those robberies were caught on camera. There were at least 31 robberies between May 26th and June 2nd in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. Now, none of the victims have been seriously hurt. The suspects usually have their faces covered, but police have been able to get some pretty clear images of them without masks on, and they are asking the public's help to identify them. Police released security camera video of 3 burglary suspects who broke into 2 businesses in Queens early Thursday morning. Officers say the trio stole cash and office equipment from Tasty's Diner on Ditmars Boulevard just after midnight. That same group went to a nearby Dunkin' Donuts several hours later and stole a safe, which store management says contained nearly $3,000.
New information on the travel nightmare this holiday weekend. According to the FlightAware misery map, airlines canceled more than 870 flights today. And that's actually an improvement. But airlines still face issues tied to staffing shortages as demand to hit the skies increases. ABC's Accuweather has the story. Coming up, new details on the investigation into the massacre at a Texas school. More evidence on just how long police waited while the shooter was inside classrooms. All eyes on the economy. Are we racing toward a recession? The Treasury Secretary weighs in.
New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, winner of 3 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, included for Best Newscast.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. In stock and delivered in 3 days or less.
A shooting star.
Yet another startling finding in the Texas school massacre. Security camera video shows police waited 77 minutes before they even tried to enter the classroom where the killings took place. The new information was confirmed by ABC after being reported in the San Antonio Express, and it contradicts what the Uvalde police chief reportedly told investigators. Classroom doors at the school were designed to lock automatically, but there's now evidence of a malfunction. At least 1 person has life-threatening injuries following a gas explosion at a night shift building in the Bronx. That blast happened at the Millbrook houses in Mott Haven just after 3 a.m. The FDNY says someone ruptured a gas line by mistake. More firefighters evacuated the building until repairs there were complete.
As inflation continues to plague Americans, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen weighed in on the crisis. She says she doesn't think a recession is inevitable. Many on Wall Street, however, disagree. ABC's Deirdre Bolton has more. Up next, a battle no one would want to get in the middle of, where one woman was woken up by the sound of bears fighting in her backyard.
And we take a look at the start of the work week after a beautiful but breezy and cool weekend. Jeff Smith has the exclusive Accuweather forecast. Stay with us.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Raina? ABC-7 and Ridgewood Savings Bank thank you for helping protect our children.
Here's something you don't want to see on your home security camera. Two bears were caught brawling inside the carport of a home in South Lake Tahoe, California. The woman who lives there says she woke up to growling noises outside her window and knew there was a mad bear around. She says that she actually sees bears every single day and has to chase them away, but she's never seen them fighting before.
Obviously not happy with the thermostat where it's set.
Apparently.
I guess.
I wanted it at 70.
And that's exactly what we have out there right now, basically.
You can accommodate
Over
that,
70s out there, and that's what is attracting everyone, I think, over to the Sheep Meadow in Central Park. That temperature, 73 degrees right now. Northeast wind coming in 9, gusting up to about 21. So 73 is our high on the day so far after a very chilly, for this time of the year at least, morning low of 54. That was within 2 degrees of a record for this date. The record was 52 72, set way back in 1920. Sun going down at 8:30 on the dot as we approach our longest daylight of the year, which is Tuesday. That is the official first day of summer, the summer solstice. 76 right now at Newark, 74 at JFK. You got 63 at Monticello, where you got all the way down to 43, if you can believe it, earlier this morning. And you haven't recovered much on the east end of Long Island. Montauk, 64 there. You had a lot of clouds, even some rain to start the day on the very eastern tip, but that rainfall has since moved off into eastern parts of New England. So we'll call it clear out there tonight. No weather worries. 57 for a low, 80 for a high tomorrow. Mostly sunny. How about delightful, except for the fact you got to go back to work. Partly cloudy with a shower in spots later on tomorrow night. We're down to about 63. Watch for a shower around during Tuesday, again, the first day of summer. Summer officially begins before dawn on Tuesday. There could be a rumble of thunder in spots, especially west of New York City late in the day. That high only getting up to 73 on Tuesday. A thunderstorm around on Wednesday, about 73. Sun and perhaps a thunderstorm on Thursday. You'll notice the humidity really creeping up Wednesday into Thursday, and especially on Friday. It will be downright muggy by the end of the week, a humid blend of sun and clouds. Mostly cloudy and muggy on Saturday, about 85. Maybe an afternoon thunderstorm threat returning by Sunday. Highs by then in the lower 80s, not too far from the norm for this time of the year. We'll send it back over to you.
We like delightful, no doubt. Thank you, sir. Sam Ryan up next with a look at sports.
We like Grand Slams too, don't we? They're one of those in your Major League debut. Pretty exciting, unless you are a Mets fan. I'll explain. Yikes. And coming up in sports, can anyone slow down the Yankees? The team chasing them in the AL East gives that a shot today. Highlights from Toronto after the break.
This Channel 7 Eyewitness News Sports Report is sponsored by Hyundai. Get the Hyundai you've always wanted. It's your journey. Own it. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
ALE Division East rival for the Bombers, yes?
Yeah, no panic, though. The Blue Jays, they do have the third best record in the American League. They're in second in the AL East. And so far this weekend, they've been outscored by the Yankees 16-3 heading into this. Well, today the Bombers went for the three-game sweep of their division rivals. Performance by the Avalanche last night in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Unless you're a Lightning fan, Colorado dismantled the Lightning with a 7-0 win. It was the second largest shutout victory in Stanley Cup Finals history. That record, by the way, belongs to the Penguins, who beat the North Stars 8-0. The Avs have lost just 2 games during the playoff run, and they are now 2 wins away from hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup. So the Bolts in desperate need of a jolt, you can say, and they should get it when the series shifts back to Tampa Monday night. You can watch that game right here on Channel 7, 8 p.m. Monday night.
WNBA legend, too.
Yeah,
My
she
goodness.
definitely
Long
earned
time.
it.
All right. Thank you, Sam. That is the news for now. Thanks for joining us. World News Tonight is next. I'm Joe Torres.
And I'm Sandra Bookman. We're coming back at 11. You should, too. Happy Father's Day, everybody.